Hi everybody, Steve Griffiths here, developer of the MTPredictor software program. Today I'd like to look at another great example of what I call my holy grail setup, this time on the 3-minute ES. This is the E-mini of the S&P 500 in the USA. Here I'll be using MTPredictor 6.5. So this is the setup I'd like to be looking at. It's this TS3 sell here early in the morning yesterday, and that is April the 13th, so Wednesday, April the 13th. If we go back and have a look at this, you can see that it's a sell setup on a black STF. So for standard traders, it's a standard trade setup, so it's one that they'd take. So if I put the analysis on, the analysis would have given a nice plus 2.1R at the first target. However, the difference between a standard trade management and the Holy Grail trade management is that with the Holy Grail setup, we're assuming this is the start of a major swing, and I'll look at a 15-minute chart in a moment to show you how we can determine this. This is the initial reaction, i.e. wave 1. This is the initial correction, a wave 2, the subdivisors in ABC. We then look to play the wave 3 swing, which is down into our typical wave 3 WPT down here. So if I put the new risk reward on, it actually means coming down to this level here for a potential 5.2R profit rather than the 2.1 earlier. And as you can see, that's indeed exactly what unfolded, with the market dropping down to here. And then just look at this. Here's our typical wave 3 target, and if I scroll out, look where the low of the day was. So in other words, you were shorting here pretty much close to the high of the day, which is around about here. You then took a short trade down into here, and you took profits right at the low of the day. In other words, this was the best place that you could have had to bank profits on this short trade. So that's a great example of the Holy Grail setup. But I can hear a lot of you asking, okay, well, how do you know this is a larger degree pivot here, and then also what other confirmation can you get for a low coming in at this level? Well, for this we use the 15-minute charts, in other words the larger degree charts. Right here I want to go back to the situation before the market opened, and now this is important because I want to show you how we place these levels on the chart in advance, i.e. before the market even gets there, so you're prepared literally hours before the market gets there for these support and resistance levels. This is really important. So here's a 15-minute chart. Here's the prior swing high. So if I go to advanced chart analysis, choose swing high low for a decision point, I'll place a decision point on the chart, and you can see up here in this particular level we had a resistance area, so we knew as the market opened, you can see how the 15-minute chart came up here and actually found resistance at this level by dropping off. But the important point is that this level was on the chart before the market even got there. So therefore we knew this was a good 15-minute, i.e. large degree resistance zone. The market then declined. It then made our correction back up into this pivot here. This is our TS1, so our TS3 sell on our 3-minute chart. And then also we can then place a DP off the prior pivot low, which is here, to then get an idea of an advance around about this level for a potential large degree support zone. Now can you see how this is on the chart before the market got there? So we're looking for a support zone at around the 1305, 1306 level, where the market is at 1313, so 8 points higher. If we go forward, well, lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. The market came down in here and made the low of the day. So do you see how in advance we projected a level that caught the high of the day? We then projected in advance a level that caught the low of the day. Let's see how that then helps us out on the 3-minute chart. If we go back to this, therefore we knew that this level here was an important 15-minute resistance, so therefore we had the confidence that this was a wave 1, the confidence this was a wave 2, and as such the wave 3 decline was likely to go into our typical wave 3 WPT, which is exactly what it did. To give us added confidence at this level, if we take the DP off the prior swing low here, which is also our 15-minute DP, can you see that this fell in exactly the same place as our typical wave 3 WPT here? So in other words, both these levels were coinciding for good support. And again, these can be placed on the chart in advance. So right back here, just as the trade was entering, you could have placed these levels on the chart and actually had confidence that as soon as you were in a short trade, that this was the area you'd be looking to target to come out and take your profits. And as we can see, that was indeed the low of the day, and as such was the best place to come out. Another couple of things for advanced traders. This bar here coming into the TS3 sell was actually a high volume VSA spike, as well as giving lovely divergence on a stochastic. So there are a couple of other reasons why the advanced traders would have had extra confidence in this particular setup as well. But overall, this was yet another great example of my Holy Grail trade, and can you see how MTPredictor was able to, on the 15-minute chart, project in advance a resistance level that caught the high of the day, then project in advance a level that caught the low of the day, and then within that, on the 3-minute chart, it allowed you to manage this TS3 sell setup to not come out at the first target for a plus 2.1R, but come out at the typical wave 3 WPT for a plus 5.2R. So a great example of a Holy Grail trade, and automatically found and managed within the MTPredictor software program.